was recently speaking with another parent, and they were explaining to me that their child had just attempted to unalive themselves. I hate that we can't just use the words, but okay. And you know, how they were doing was my question, and how the child is doing was my question, and how their siblings are handling it was my question. And the siblings were more on the, are they still being seen? Because a lot of times when we have somebody going through crisis of any sort, any mental health or physical health situation, or good things, say someone's graduating, the focus is always on that particular person, and other people can feel left out, unimportant, or like they don't want to be a burden. So I wanted to ask, because this particular child had siblings, and I wanted to say, hey, are we making sure everyone is being seen still, as hard as that is to balance? And I'm not sure why, but last night, or early this morning, because I work overnight, so my days get kind of fuzzy, I really felt the need to post and say that I'd like to be here for the kids going through the situation, because I feel like sometimes, or just anyone going through mental health issues, because sometimes you feel like the people in your life just don't get it, don't understand what you're going through, and you want someone that you can say what you need to say that will get it. Thank you. Let me go first. I love that. I know in my journey as an adult, and I think it's different for children, it's nice to be in a room with people who understand what you're going through, but I think sometimes with kids, it is nice to be in that room, but the intention around being in that room and what they gain from it is a little different than adults. I think as adults, we're at the point where we want healing, and we want to change, and we want relief, and sometimes the way we search for that can be destructive. I think kids want that too, but sometimes they don't care where that relief comes from. Whereas an adult, sometimes we're looking for productive ways to find healing. They just want relief from the situation, and so sometimes their conversations with their peers can worsen the situation. Just real talk. You think about over the years when there were anorexic groups and unalivement groups where they made pacts or pregnancy pacts, just some interesting things that you don't necessarily hear grown-ups doing, but when you're a kid and you're looking for connection and love and to feel part of something, you're sometimes in situations and groups that don't serve you. So I definitely would love to be a resource for anyone going through mental health issues. But I'm a mom now. And I think as a parent, a lot of us realize, I'm going to be real honest, I don't know what I'm doing. I am making this up every single day. There are things my mom did with me that I try to do with my kid, and it does not work the same. It does not play out the same way. Or even if it does, the confidence my mom seems to have looked like she was having is not what I am feeling, even if I'm presenting it. It's imposter syndrome. And if that's how you feel on a normal day, and you may feel way more in control of the situation than I do. I may be out here by myself, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But I feel like if you can feel like that on a regular day, when your child is going through something, when they're sick, when they're experiencing something you've never experienced before, good or bad, going to college and you've never been, you don't know how to prepare them for that situation because you've never been there, a new job, a new field, the mental health issues, because not everything's always bad. There are some good things, right? But when you feel out of your depth, it makes you feel definitely like you're on shaky ground. And with the mental health situation, I feel like there might be some parents who feel like they're out of their depth. Maybe you were blessed enough not to have these feelings growing up or didn't acknowledge them, because I feel like as a kid in the 90s and in the 80s and probably the 70s, we were taught to bury our feelings and emotions. And so I hear a lot of people saying that these younger generations with all these mental health days, like, we would have just pushed through. And we would have, and we did. And we survived. But it doesn't mean we thrived or it was the right thing to do. But we did it and we survived. This generation is struggling a little bit more. And as a parent to someone in this generation, you may feel out of your depth. And it's not that I am a know-it-all, but I feel like I can provide some comfort. I can provide a listening ear and support. I am not a licensed clinician of any sort, just someone who's gone through her own journey. And as a parent, I've been scared for my daughter. She's been physically sick and I didn't know what to do. A couple of years ago, I was blessed to go on a retreat. And I am a little bit older. And in my youth, still an adult, I got to be a youth minister leader. And I was so young, I didn't realize I was an adult. I was like, when did I get to be the adult? But I was grown. And so I was mentoring these children that were in high school. And because we were close in age, it was definitely a friendship and an ease of conversation. And so now years later, I'm on this retreat and one of the parents are there. And we're having this conversation. I'm like, oh my God, how are you? How's your son doing? And she informed me that he unalived himself. He had been struggling. He seemed like he was doing better. And then he just wasn't here anymore. When I heard this, I kind of sat with it. I felt so many emotions. And the retreat was 2.5 days. And I sat with it because I wasn't sure what the right response was right away. I had so many feelings and big thoughts. But on the last day, I felt like I had to say some of what I was feeling. And what I was feeling, which I feel like I've shared on this page or my YouTube page, and if you haven't heard it, I'll share it now again, that young man fought as hard as he could and stayed as long as he could. And he probably did it for you. And when he lost his battle with mental health, it wasn't because he didn't care. It wasn't because he didn't love you. And despite what people in the mental health field will say, it wasn't because he was selfish. I don't believe that. I don't believe when I'm in those moments that I'm being selfish. I genuinely believe that I am thinking of what's best for everyone around me, and that the burden that I have become is just too much. And everything around me points to that logically. People are missing days of work. People are stressing out. People are getting physically sick because they're stressed, because I am not okay. So if I'm not here, they won't have these problems anymore. That person was sick, just like somebody with cancer, and they lost the battle. And that's how it should be seen. And if you were there in that person's life, they probably stayed on this earth that much longer to try to be there for you, and just couldn't make it. Now, this is my perspective from my experience. She was grateful, and she said that it helped. I feel that I can give some perspective to family members dealing with friends and family that are suffering with mental health illnesses. I feel that I can be a listening ear, a sounding board, offer some clarity. Not necessarily what you want to hear, just my perspective. I feel as a mom, there's been days when I'm doing this mom thing and I feel all alone, like everyone else seems that they've got it together. And then when I talk to a few parents, I realize that I'm not as alone as I think I am. And it's just because we haven't created a safe place to have these conversations. And that's what I would like to do. I would love to be that safe space. And if enough of people are interested, create a group where we can communicate and support each other as parents. And those who are suffering with mental health issues, be there for each other also. This isn't a real planned conversation, right? I don't have a script. I don't have a lesson plan, any of that. I just feel like we need community. So if you know someone who is struggling, who is going through this as a person or as a parent, as like the person who's actually suffering or a parent that is suffering, because caretakers, families, and friends that are experiencing this and helping need support also. I'm here. And I could probably have said this much better and clearer. I apologize. I'll try again another day, but I did want to put something out there because it just seems like there's such a need. There's such a need for support. And it's from all walks of life. I would love to just say I want to be here just for my Black and brown and indigenous people, my people across the diaspora, because our understanding of mental health is so different. The way we've had to conduct ourselves and bury our feelings. And so there definitely needs to be a group for that and a conversation for that. But I also feel that the shunness and the way that there is still a certain perspective put on those suffer with mental health issues and substance abuse issues, that the support is not there. And ironically, I feel like if you have a substance abuse problem, there's a lot more support. There's AA, there's NA, and for mental health, we've got NAMI, but it's not the same. Like for substance abuse, you can find a meeting every day, probably every hour of the day, especially with online. You can connect with a group. We don't have that for mental health. And I feel like a few years ago, I may have posted something similar. The goal is to be more consistent, and the goal is to let you know that I'm here. I'd like to create something. I'd like to do this for anyone who needs it, who is drowning and just needs someone to reach out a hand. So if you know somebody, or if you are that person, just reach out to me quietly, DM me, and I'm here. It's hard to do this by yourself. It's almost impossible to do it by yourself. You need help, and that's okay. You need community, you need people, you need support, and that can come in so many different forms. Therapists are amazing. Psychiatrists are great. Medication is needed sometimes. But having someone to talk to who gets it is priceless. Priceless. So I offer myself as an option. That's all I got to say. That was a lot of words. I'm here and I will be here. I will do my best to respond in a very timely manner. I do work overnight. But I will get back to you. You are not alone. And I don't want you to feel that way. All right, that's all I got.